Namaskar everyone. At the outset I thank Dr. Vidya from the Indian Institute of Management, Ahmedabad, for providing me with this opportunity to share my views on the agri-food systems, building evidence, tools and action frameworks. Due to prior commitments, I am not able to attend this August symposium personally, but I look forward to reading the proceedings of the symposium and apprise myself. This is a very important topic at a very opportune moment. There has been volumes of discussion on the need to link to evidence and action frameworks for policy making. I will not be able to cover much due to paucity of time. Today I would like to focus on two examples, namely the seed systems for land races, which we carried out under the Odisha millets mission, which we call it as Sri Anna Abhiyan now, and the comprehensive rice fallow management initiative to showcase how data, evidence and policy making they go hand in hand in our state of Odisha. Let me come to the seed system for traditional varieties. In spite of many developments in the seed technologies, even today more than 50% of the total seeds are traditional varieties or land races or the farm shaped seeds. Farmers often prefer these land races or the traditional varieties for the resilience to pests, diseases and also for their ability to withstand local vagaries or weather related threats. This is due to the fact that there are many typologies and micro agroecologies or micro local climatic conditions, but there was no system to support such processes. Under the Sri Anna Abhiyan, the Odisha Millets Mission, we took off a participatory varietal trial for these land races, where we took the local traditional varieties conjured by the farmers, the varieties released by the university and the government system by the ICR and also were included, and we tested them in the local farm field conditions. As part of this farmers varietal trials, we have different groups consisting of old men, young people, young men and women, scientists and mixed groups to evaluate the local varieties. Farmers and the grassroots workers, they regularly visited the participatory varietal trial plots for monitoring, and visual and measurement data on the varieties were collected during the vegetative stage, and agronomic data of the 10 randomly selected plants from each variety were also collected. We realized that in the local farm field conditions, these traditional varieties perform better even in matters relating to yield. This was a wonder for many scientists and many of my colleagues in the system. It also came to light that different groups prefer different types of varieties. For example, women preferred varieties which are big in size, as you can make better gruel and they have better cooking capacities. Now we are in a position to even undertake gender screening of traditional varieties which are preferred by farmers and can be consumed. After understanding such trials, we realized there is no system for release of these land races or the traditional varieties. In collaboration with the custodian farmers, the farmers who conserve these varieties over centuries, we consulted them, we consulted the experts, the OUAT, the ICAR, the NGOs and other multiple stakeholders, and we released first a standard operating protocol, the SOP for seed systems for land races, and I am very happy to inform this august audience that 4 such finger millet land races, namely Kundra Bati, Lakshmipur Kalia, Gupteshwar Bharati and Malyabanta Mami, they were released in the system. This is an example of setting up contextual and suitable data systems, tools and processes which can build evidence for locally appropriate solutions. Now I will come to the comprehensive rice fallow management initiative of our department, the Department of Agriculture and Farmers Empowerment in Government of Odisha. The comprehensive rice fallow management is another science backed regenerative agriculture intervention initiated by our department. We want to utilize the rice fallows in the state of Odisha. Before the intervention, systematic analysis of the fallow lands through remote sensing, so soil health analysis and field level feedback were taken, and it was found that out of about 2 million hectares, 20 lakh hectares, around 1.03 million hectares they are suitable for taking off a second crop after the rice fallow, under the rice fallow. The rice fallow management program, it aims to use the residual soil moisture. Most of you are aware about the scientific background onto this initiative, increase the cropping intensity, upscale the cultivation of pulses, oilseeds and millets, so that we also have some kind of nutritional outcomes to the farmers' families there, restore soil health through increasing soil biomass, establishing community managed seed systems for pulses, and enhance nutritional security, and above all improving the income of the farmers. The program activity monitored the delivery of inputs through digital portal, ground truthing through our Odisha remote sensing application center, the ORSAC, crop cutting experiments for performance analysis through documentation, and enabling policy support through various interventions as per need of the farmers. About 600,000 farmers, they were digitally tagged, 6 lakh farmers were digitally tagged, and their bank accounts were also verified through Aadhaar linking, and we have a very robust farmer database called Krushak Odisha. So we integrated that into the Krushak Odisha registry. Weekly monitoring of the progress of the crop area, supply of input, supply chain problems, they were analyzed by the director, myself, and all other scheme officers, and field verification of the work also were done by the extension workers. In collaboration with the scientific institutions, different dryland crops were evaluated, and land races of mung bean, horse gram and others were also shared from State Gene Bank. We have the State Gene Bank in our department, and several we noticed that several short duration lines of sorghum, chickpea, pigeon pea and others were also tried there. We undertook a pilot in Koraput in 22-23, which showed very good results. About 61.9% farmers took up second crop for the first time. Fallow land decreased from 83.3% to 41.7% amongst the beneficiaries. 75% of black gram and 61% of chickpea farmers sold their marketable surplus in the market. 65% of the farmers retained seed for the next season. Dietary diversity increased from 29.7% from 31.7 grams to 43.9%. That corresponds to about 40.2 grams per capita in pulses for the age cohort of 15 to 49 years age bracket. So they were all very exciting findings. As many of you would know that Odisha hosted the International Convention on Millets last year. 2023 was the International Year of Millets, and as you can see behind me, we are hosting another international symposium on Sri Anna, or the millets and the forgotten foods, again on 10th and 11th of this year, later this week. So those of you who would be willing to participate in this international symposium, would be delighted to welcome each one of you. The ICM that I talked about, that we hosted last year, the International Convention on Millets, that brought farmers, custodian seed savers, the women self-help groups, the FPOs, the Government of India, UN agencies, state governments, and many other stakeholders, policy experts, research organizations like ICAR, CGIAR, civil society organizations. They all came together into one platform, and the deliberations were done with an objective to revive millets in farms and plates. And based on the suggestions that came in that ICM, the International Convention on Millets, we have come out with a Bhubaneswar Declaration on Millets. The Bhubaneswar Declaration on Millets is for policy transformation or framework for promotion of millets beyond the International Year of Millets 2023. There is apprehension that beyond 2023 people will forget about millets, but Odisha now gives a model to rest of the world as to how we promote millets and bring back this wonderful superfood into our plates and the farms. The 10 points that we have come up with are as follows, and based on that also we have framed come up with a framework to sustain the farmer ecosystem and bring the sustainable agriculture in the days to come. And in the farmers ecosystem framework for sustainable agriculture that we have come up with includes 6 points. The first one is on the climate preparedness. All of us are aware as to how we are living in a climate crisis. So, all our systems should be climate resilient, the forecasting, the disaster preparedness, customized advisories, they are very important to make the agriculture sector resilient. Odisha faced the cyclone Dana few weeks back, and our state was one of the few wherein we prepared well and we faced the cyclone with full vigor and the damage could be minimized. The second one that we talk about is the policy coherence. There is a need for policy coherence. We often speak about biodiversity, but many of you would know that we never conserve or promote traditional varieties or sustainable agriculture practices in the government system. So, we from our department, and we suggest that we should focus on the interdependence of food, water and the land and its effect on agriculture, so on and so forth. And so, under this policy coherence, we would like to ensure these aspects are taken care of. The next suggestion that we make is on the social inclusion. All of you are aware, you are an esteemed informed group. So, we speak about inclusivity. So, when we speak about inclusivity, we take care of the gender, the women self-help group involvement in the supply and the value chain in the lines of the Sri Anna Abhijan that we have undertaken. So, equity and justice are paramount elements for just agriculture policies. Our next suggestion is on the corporate or industry participation, the private sector participation. So, in any country or in any state, the true success of agriculture can come only with the involvement of the private sector. We are very much conscious about it. So, hence creating an enabling ecosystem for post harvest or the aggregation or exports with focus on organic farming would be key to sustainable agriculture. Then we talk about the technology adoption. Odisha has made very impressive strides in the technology adoption, especially the digital technologies. We rolled out the first AI based chatbot for state schemes. At least we started with for our extension workers, and then we are taking it to our farmers. Our digital framework of Krishak Odisha portal, the ADAPT portal or the decision support system dashboard are cutting edge of IoTs. And in addition to the digital technology, Odisha is also leading in adopting farmer centric innovations such as the DSR, the SRI, the SMI system of millet intensification, the precision agriculture and stress tolerant varieties, and so on and so forth. The last but not the least and extremely important component of our framework is on the resource use efficiency. All of you would agree with me that at the end of the day we have limited resources. Primary among them are the water and the topsoil. So, how do we conserve them, how do we make best use of these resources are extremely important from the policy point of view. So, if we do not manage our natural resources efficiently, then we will be in a very difficult situation in future. Odisha has taken pioneering initiatives such as integrated farming systems with focus on reuse, recycle and rejuvenate principles, and we extensively promote micro irrigation in our state. We are planning to undertake systematic water budgeting and soil moisture budgeting in many of our schemes. I am very happy to share my thoughts with a very informed group and climate conscious group like all of you. I once again thank the IIM Ahmedabad for this opportunity, and thank you everyone for listening to me on this topic. Thank you everyone.